students learn a lesson in life, what veterans go through and how they're honored for their service. We'll have a live report.
Veteran Day comes to downtown San Jose. We'll show you how it was celebrated.
The San Jose State women's soccer team makes history. We'll show you what's in store for them tonight.
And it's Friday the 13th. Will you be one of the lucky ones? Update News starts now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Jessica Monday.
And I'm Bobby Dupree. Thanks for joining us. San Jose State is home to a growing number of veterans. 600 veterans have identified themselves to veteran services here on campus. That's 100 more than last year. The Associated Students body hosted an event this week to honor those who have served the country. Katie Oriana is live on campus. Katie?
Bobby, despite the rain on Monday, the Veterans Day celebration still marched on. AS held a Veterans Day celebration on Monday afternoon near the Tommy Lee and John Carlos statues. The event was held to pay respect for both students and community members who have served the United States military. Students were able to meet veterans and have an opportunity to get to know them and their families. A big attention getter was an authentic Humvee ambulance where students could get inside and have a feel of the actual vehicle. There was also a raffle and multiple giveaways.
A collection of veterans here on campus decided to bring in some of their gear to kind of show our fellow students what we were working with, as well as take some pride in some of our old uniforms and equipment.
The tradition of celebrating Veterans Day began 97 years ago. The Veterans Day celebrations continued throughout the week with a parade on Wednesday in downtown San Jose. Students who would like to get to know more veterans can stop by Clark 122 at the Veteran Student Study Lounge. Study Lounge hours are from 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. every Monday through Friday. Live on campus, Katie Oriana, Update News.
Now, Katie, is there any other services that SJSU offers to our veterans here on campus?
Actually, there are. We all have peer mentoring and peer counseling available for student veterans. And there's also a Veterans Crisis Hotline that's available 24/7 for veterans and their families.
The city of San Jose held its 97th annual Veterans Day Parade on Wednesday. Thousands of people flooded the downtown streets to watch marching bands, cars, and veterans. People showed their support with flags, cheers, and applause. Veterans waved to the crowds and took pictures.
Respect is one of the biggest things that every veteran deserves, because they took up and stepped, and a lot of them gave the ultimate sacrifice.
The parade lasted about 2 hours. Also, the city of San Jose chose the parade to launch a $6 million campaign to house hundreds of homeless veterans. The program, called All the Way Home, is expected to begin next year. Veterans Day was filled with many people and restaurants giving thanks to those who were in the service. The Craftsman, a restaurant downtown, had a special called a Burger for a Vet. Customers had the opportunity to prepay for a burger and a beer during the month of October for $20. Members of the military with ID were able to redeem one of the postcards from their wall of donations to receive a burger and beer until November 11th.
For me, it was just a way to say thanks. One of the things that you run into in San Jose all the time is either homeless veterans or just veterans in general walking about. And I think it was a good opportunity for us here at the Craftsman to be able to say, hey, thanks a lot.
All the funds that were donated and not redeemed will be sent to the Wounded Warrior Foundation.
Superstitions are running high today. It's Friday the 13th. Adrienne Manzo joins us live in the newsroom. Adrienne?
Bobby, on one of the most unlucky days of the year, it might be a good idea to carry around a good luck charm. That's if you believe in superstitions.
Make sure you don't walk under that ladder, and whatever you do, don't step on that crack. There are countless superstitions, and one of the most common is the fear of Friday the 13th.
You'll be fearful of the day because of the feeling that you've had that one time you had a bad situation on Friday the 13th.
Scientifically, superstitions don't hold any merit, but they help you feel more in control about the uncontrollables in your life.
Without even realizing it, some people fall into the habits of trying to fend off bad luck or trying to bring good luck. And whether or not it really works, it can't hurt to knock on wood.
Like for instance, if I say, oh, I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow, I was like, don't say that. Oh, I gotta knock on wood with that.
Martinez isn't alone in his beliefs. According to the Gallup poll, 1 in 4 Americans are superstitious. Others say they don't believe in it at all.
I do knock on wood, but it's not because like I think like, oh yeah, bad karma, I gotta knock on wood or something's gonna happen. It's more like I see other people doing it, so they're like, oh no, you gotta knock on wood. So I'm just like, okay, like knock knock.
The hype and rarity surrounding Friday the 13th makes some people act a little crazy. University Police Department Sergeant Jenny Glaxiola says it seems like strange things do happen on these days.
For the police, it's kind of more like fun and exciting, you know, but once again, it doesn't mean that department looks at it and go, oh, today's the Friday 13th, so we're gonna have to have extra staffing because we are expecting that.
In case you're keeping track, today is the last of 3 Friday the 13ths for the year. Live in the newsroom, Adrienne Manso, Update News.
Now, Adrienne, after doing this report, do you still believe in these superstitions?
Bobby, I try not to think about it too much, but you won't find me walking under any ladders.
It's election season and campaigns are in full effect throughout the Bay Area. One campaign that took place in San Francisco stood out among the others. Marguerite Tafuli reports.
From college students to the unemployed, many people gathered at the Civic Center Plaza in San Francisco Saturday to campaign for presidential hopeful Bernie Sanders and to support a variety of issues, hoping to bring forth change.
Hope for consistent change and progression with our country, hoping for somebody who can lead our country as a whole for everybody and not just the top 1%.
The campaign rally is called Enough is Enough, referring to the rights surrounding women, minorities, and the underrepresented.
Far too many Americans live with chronic insecurity over whether they will be able to afford to go to the doctor, provide for their families, or retire with dignity.
There are people entrenched in poverty that don't get any social security, they don't get any services because of the money that goes into wars. Yeah, and I think that needs to change, and events like this where we bring that out definitely will help.
Most of those who attended were supporters of Bernie Sanders, who is well known for his stance on free healthcare and free college tuition. Berkeley students showed up to voice their concerns with the university system. Roger Robinson is the vice president of membership for Cal Berkeley Democrats.
He's standing for students, he's standing for labor, he's standing for minorities, and he's been standing there for quite some time. He doesn't just do it when it's politically expedient.
Bernie Sanders has been receiving massive support from Bay Area residents.
He has never changed his views. He has always supported gay marriage for as long as he's been in politics, essentially.
Some people here said they weren't even aware it was a rally for Sanders. It was a demonstration for causes they feel passionately about.
But as I go to work every day, and I'm at my farm, which is, this part of Oakland has the highest dropout rate, and an almost 40% dropout rate.
Organizers expected thousands of people at this rally. Instead, they got hundreds. But money raised here goes toward the Bernie Sanders campaign, a grassroots movement that leans to the left and is right at home here in San Francisco. In San Francisco, Marguerite Tufuli, Update News.
Not only is November a time the leaves change, the air gets cold, and the homework piles up, but it's also a time to raise cancer awareness. Put down your razor and cancel the waxing appointments. No Shave November is a time to embrace the facial hair by letting your hair grow wild and free. This organization is web-based and supports cancer awareness through informational websites.
So I participate in No Shave November because my grandpa passed away a few years back from pancreatic cancer, and I feel it's something that everyone should try to do because most people have someone in their family or extended family that does suffer from cancer.
The No Shave November organization works with St. Jude's Hospital, American Cancer Society, Prevent Cancer Foundation, and Fight Colorectal Cancer Community. The group gives 80% of the money collected to these charities.
Coming up, we have Eugene Liu here with Arts and Entertainment.
Artwork from southern Mexico comes to San Jose State. We'll show you how it looks.
A new convention comes to Campbell. We'll see how it turned out.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens is already breaking records without even being released. Find out how when we come back.
As if midterms weren't enough to worry about, street sweeping is stressing out many San Jose State students. Moving their cars and paying fines seem inconvenient to them. However, many students are not aware of street sweeping's purpose. Michaela Shelton is reporting live here on campus. Michaela?
Bobby, the purpose of street sweeping is to clear the streets of debris and small collections of litter. When people do not move their vehicles, they are punished by receiving a ticket.
Parking is a widespread issue for San Jose State students who live on campus, off campus, and commute. Even students who do find a parking spot have to deal with another factor, street sweeping.
Oh my God, what is this? Oh my gosh, a parking violation, not today. Can this day get any worse?
Ariel Taylor, who lives in Gloria Apartments on 11th Street near campus, went outside to drive to work and found a $60 ticket on her windshield.
It is so irritating. I forget to move my car. It's only once a month. It is so frustrating to wake up, look on your windshield, and have a parking ticket on your car.
Near San Jose State, street sweeping occurs once a week between the hours of 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. Street sweeping is especially an issue for students who live in shared living situations, such as those in sororities or fraternities.
We have 14 parking spots in our parking lot, and only 21 of us live in there, so it sucks when the rest of us have to park on the street and have to move it for street cleaning.
Green Waste Recovery is a service in San Jose that sweeps all streets at least one time per month.
One of the important parts of street sweeping is to help keep San Jose clean. One of the most important is to help to keep pollution from getting into our watershed.
But many students blame Green Waste Recovery for their tickets and inconvenience.
We get a lot of questions about citations being issued. We do not issue them. The city does. They have a department called the Parking and Compliance. They are the ones that know more about the regulations on how the tickets are being issued.
A parking ticket for not moving your vehicle can range from $50 to $100.
About street sweeping. There are no signs of any changes being made in regards to rules and regulations. Therefore, students must obey these rules or pay the consequence. Live on campus, Michaela Shelton, Update News.
Michaela, so if cars aren't moved and the streets aren't clear, what exactly happens as far as street sweeping goes?
Well, Bobby, with all this recent rain we've been having, the streets will get drained from all the debris that wasn't swept up. So it's very important for people to move their vehicles.
Thank you. And now we have A&E here with Eugene Liu. What's going on, Eugene?
Thank you, Bobby. I have a lot of exciting stories. I'm going to save the best for last. Let's get to it. A touch of southern Mexico came to campus this week. Equal Breje artisans sold handcrafted animal sculpture this week in the 7th Street Plaza. Exotic animals from jaguars, giraffes, rhinos, and rams were available for purchase. A lot of time and effort were spent on each ceramic figure.
You have to kind of imagine what the character is going to be. After they cut it, they kind of get it into shape with knives, and then they start to sand it down. So to get ready for the painting part.
Each animal craft ranged from $50 to $100. A portion of the proceeds go to support the Alternative Spring Break 2016 initiative. Alternative Spring Break gives college students a chance to volunteer for specially designed projects around the world. The Alternative Spring Break project started in 2006, and over 4,200 students have participated in the organization. The pop culture is finding a stronghold on Campbell. For the first time, the city hosted CampbellCon. Fans, comic book artists, and local vendors gathered at the Campbell Community Center on Saturday. For the first time, the small community of Campbell is able to experience a Comic-Con-like convention without the far drive.
It's the first time, but a lot of cons have been circulating over in the Bay Area. You're seeing more and more as each month goes on. And it's been an excellent show so far. It's been packed all day. I work with pixels, so anything that you want that's not pixelated, I can make it pixel to look like an old-fashioned game.
Fans and guests Saturday had the opportunity to sit down and personally meet important figures in the comic industry, something that bigger conventions do not offer. Comic book artist Omar Morales says this convention is a nostalgic event.
A little smaller, more intimate type of convention, kind of like a throwback to the old conventions from like the 70s and 80s where it wasn't as big and as corporate as it is now. And so people can kind of take their time and meet people and take their time going from table to table. So it's kind of a retro type of convention. People really seem to be responding to it.
Last August, Morales set a record in the Guinness Book for the largest comic book published.
I took the first chapter and I blew it up poster size and made it into the largest comic book ever published in the world. And they actually featured me in the new book that's for sale out in stores, the 2016 edition.
More than 200 people attended this year. CampbellCon is scheduled to come back next fall, 2016. Organizers are expecting a larger turnout once word gets out about this new pop culture convention. In Campbell, Eugene Liu, Update News. Star Wars fans have waited 10 years for a new episode, but the wait will be over soon when The Force Awakens premieres on December 18th. The Hackworth IMAX Theater at the San Jose Tech will be one of the few theaters in the world to show the movie in IMAX. Every other theater will be showing the movie in digital format. The scenes filled with IMAX footages will be...
We started the process in February to try and get the film here, so it's been a tremendous honor.
The movie is 6 weeks away from premiering, and the Tech has currently sold more than 6,200 tickets. 19 shows have sold out, and the 20th was expected to sell out on Wednesday, which is more than any other film they've had there. And that's all I have for arts and entertainment, and I'm very excited with the new Star Wars movie. Are you, Bobby?
Yes, I am.
And in celebration of the Star Wars movie, may the Force be with you.
All right, and coming up, Marguerite Tafouli is here with sports.
We also have women's soccer sports supervisor Blake Sasaki here to talk about tonight's huge match.
Women's basketball tips off. We have the results of the first game of the season when we come back.
Marguerite Tafouli is here with sports. I've heard we've had a big week, Marguerite.
Yes, SJSU women are dominating in sports this week. For the first time in history, a San Jose State team has won the Mountain West Championship. The women's soccer team is advancing to the NCAA Women's Soccer Championship Tournament. Here you see highlights of the team's last home game against the Fresno State Bulldogs. They beat the San Diego State Aztecs last weekend to claim the title. The Spartans finished the season with a record of 10-7-4. Tonight's game is being played at Stanford. The team made it to the NCAA tournament 15 years ago while in the Western Athletic Conference. But this is the first time any SJSU team has represented the university in the conference. Joining us now is women's soccer sports supervisor Blake Sasaki. First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
So what does it mean to you and the university to be the first SJSU team to win the Mountain West title?
Well, we're very proud of Coach Hansen and the student athletes to win the first ever Mountain West title, and we hope that this is the start of many more titles to come.
Great, and what do you think has contributed to their success?
You know, all season long, Coach Hansen has been preaching believe, and you know, the girls have just believed in themselves, believed in the program, believed in the coaching staff, and the results showed on the field.
Confidence, I love it. What can we expect from the match tonight against Stanford?
It's really going to be a tough match. Obviously, Stanford is #1 ranked in the country and going as #1 seed in the tournament. So it'll be a major challenge, but you know what? To be the best, you got to beat the best, and so we wouldn't have it any other way.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you, and thank you so much for joining us. Go Spartans.
Go Spartans. Thank you.
That was women's soccer sports supervisor Blake Sasaki. The women's basketball team ended its exhibition game with a 67-point win over Oakland's Holy Names Hawks on Monday. The Sports were off to a rough start during the first quarter with only a 4-point lead, but rallied by the start of the second quarter. While the team may have swept the Holy Names, head coach Jamie Craighead expected more.
Looks like we're still just getting some rust off. The 66-15 run helped break open the game, obviously, for us, but the first quarter, whew, looked a little tight still.
The team ended the game with a 110-41 victory. This was the final game in their exhibition series, and they will have their first regular season game here at home this Friday against Southern Oregon. And taking a look at a few games ahead, of course, tonight, women's soccer will face the Pac-12 champions, Stanford, in the NCAA first round. The game begins at 7. This weekend, the women's basketball team will kick off their season by hosting the Southern Oregon Raiders tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. And last but not least, the men's basketball team will begin their season by hosting Idaho Saturday night in the Event Center. And that's all I have for sports this week.
Thanks, Marguerite.
And that's all we got for today for this episode of Update News. Thanks for joining us.